perfect, Pollard. Thank you. Keep eyes on it. I'm taking my eyes off of it. I'm putting my monitor on 4. There we go. Got it on 4. Let's do it, guys. We're ready. Let's break her. I knew I heard the word pursuit. Let's do it, guys. Nobody's here. You're starting to get company. Company's here. Here comes Stu. Okay, we're at Highland right now. We are at Highland and Melrose. Highland and Melrose. Let's do it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Let's own it. Roger. I'm Megan Reyes in News Chopper 4 Alpha. We are covering a pursuit here exclusively from News Chopper 4 Alpha. Here is what we know. This motorhome is being pursued right now by Los Angeles Police Department units from their Wilshire Division. We are currently right now along Highland Boulevard going northbound on Highland, just passing Melrose. A very serious situation. This is an alleged kidnapped suspect who officers believe have a minor in this vehicle, and because of that, it's a very delicate situation right now. They are using all the caution necessary, considering this is an alleged kidnapping suspect who may have a minor in the vehicle. Now, we understand this was coming out of the Santa Clarita area earlier. Now, units from the Los Angeles Police Department spotted this motorhome. They initiated a traffic stop. Vehicle failed to yield, and now we have this pursuit. We're coming into the Hollywood area, coming up here on 3 o'clock here, so most likely schools are starting to get out. So fortunately, we're not seeing a lot of erratic driving or a lot of traffic right now. Hollywood High School is up the street here, not too far from this location. You can see that vehicle had a green light, continuing northbound along Highland Boulevard. Coming up now here, looks like we should be approaching Sunset Boulevard soon. Those are LAPD units down below. Not only LAPD units, we also have the LA County Sheriff's helicopter monitoring, and also an LAPD helicopter. So they have multiple agencies handling this pursuit. Again, we understand this may be an alleged kidnapped suspect in this motorhome, not complying to officers. And if you think this pursuit can be easily ended by a pit maneuver, think again. The size of that vehicle, that is not an option right now where officers can pit that vehicle. They do not want to try to escalate the situation. They want this pursuit to come to a peaceful end. But this is where we are right now, just short of the Hollywood area. This is northbound Highland Avenue, just north of Melrose. The next major cross street here is coming up. I believe that right there is Fountain Avenue, and you can see that was one of the police helicopters above trying to get this vehicle here to stop. You are correct. Right now, alleged kidnapping suspect here in this motorhome. We're northbound on Highland. If anything is good right now, Michael, just passing Fountain Avenue, this vehicle is not traveling at erratic speeds. We saw that pursuit earlier where the vehicle was topping about 90 miles per hour. Of course, this is a different situation, a motorhome. Not sure whether or not how fast these vehicles can go. Obviously, these vehicles, these type of motorhomes can carry a lot more gas there in their gas tank, so that can extend the range of whether or not how long they could drive. You can see that was the LAPD helicopter in the middle of your shot. As we come up on red lights, we're not seeing erratic driving. The driver's really calm. Let's try to zoom in and get a look at that driver there. We'll get that here in a second. Making a right turn here. This is on Longpre. So we're turning right on Longpre. That's going to put us eastbound on Longpre and then making an immediate left turn there on McCadden Place. Apparently he's trying to get away from most of this traffic along Highland. Coming into the Hollywood area, a lot of traffic here, but again, a very dangerous situation here considering the elements surrounding this pursuit involving an alleged kidnapping suspect. And according to scanner traffic, what we hear officers are saying is they want to be very careful how they handle this because they do believe there is a child in this vehicle. Absolutely, and in fact, I think, Carolyn, he was doing that just to get around some of that traffic as we make a right turn on Sunset Boulevard. So we're almost to the Hollywood Freeway in that vicinity. I'm going to pull out a little here. You can see the intersection of Las Palmas and Sunset Boulevard. I think Hollywood High School is not too far from here. I keep mentioning Hollywood High School because the school's going to be getting out, and anytime there's a pursuit, let's try to get that building out of our way. Anytime there's a pursuit coming into that area, obviously it's very dangerous, especially when schools start letting out. Fortunately, we're not seeing erratic driving. We're not seeing crazy speeds right now. Look at the driver. He does have a red light, and he's just nonchalantly waiting, not complying with officers. You can see both hands on the steering wheel. At least that's good news. The driver does not seem to be agitated, not throwing things around. We've seen drivers pound on the steering wheel, extremely agitated, but right now this driver just seems to be driving nonchalantly, not complying with officers as he makes a northbound turn. We'll get that turn here. We'll get that street here in a second. Do you have eyes? It's going right under us, Pollard. No, they are not. In fact, there's a vehicle right there blocking his way. He's just coming out of a driveway. We're on North Las Palmas Avenue. We just passed Selma, and as you indicated, Hollywood High School on one of those special days here as far as their schedule. Look at those tight streets there, squeezing through some of those vehicles. Coming up on Hollywood Boulevard. So you can see, as you guys were talking about, traffic is really tight. And look at this. We got a red light. There's really nowhere where this driver can go. There's Hollywood Boulevard. He's just waiting his turn. So fortunately, that's a good case. In fact, I think I see, I thought I was looking at some out-of-state plates, but no license plates that I can see right now. Going northbound on Las Palmas, just nonchalantly waiting to make his turn. Obviously, everybody's aware something's going on. Look at all these LAPD units. We have a couple of LAPD units. We have 2 police helicopters above. We excuse the shot right now. Some of these buildings are in our way, but you can see tight streets here, making it a little more difficult. We'll reposition News Chopper 4, but as he comes up on Hollywood Boulevard, he'll have the choice to either go straight or make a right or left turn. And it looks like he's trying to get his way, nudge his way here in up to this intersection. Exactly, exactly. And under normal circumstances, I think they would. But Carolyn, because of the circumstances that there may be a minor in this vehicle here, they don't want to escalate the situation. Again, we do not know the circumstances surrounding this. We are hearing from our news desk that this is an alleged kidnapping suspect. They were looking for this vehicle earlier. They found the vehicle, and now they tried to pull the vehicle over, and he's failing to comply. A lot of folks, a lot of tourists there on Hollywood Boulevard. This is live happening right now. Police pursuit coming northbound along Las Palmas Avenue, crossing over Hollywood Boulevard. Look at that pedestrian crossing against the traffic. Slow. That vehicle now, the motorhome, driving behind this other vehicle. So we're not seeing the crazy driving. We're just seeing slow speeds along this portion of the roadway, but still causing for some issues here as LAPD officers are trying to get this vehicle to pull over. Turning. Go to the left. Hold on, stay right here, Pollard. You're good, you're good. Here we go, guys. Sorry about that. Just talking to my pilot, James Pollard, who's getting us this best position here. That's Franklin Avenue. He's coming out to Highland. Pollard, he's going to come out to Highland here. So he's coming out to Highland. He's going to go northbound on Highland. And most likely, watch that traffic there. Most likely, he's probably going to get back onto the Hollywood Freeway. I thought this was taking place earlier. It's going to go underneath us, so let's fix that. Earlier, it was up in the Santa Clarita area, so it may be indicative right now. He's northbound on Highland, most likely maybe getting back onto the Hollywood Freeway. We can only assume right now. You can see there's the LAPD helicopter. We have LAPD down below. We also have the LA County Sheriff's helicopter. Before we got on scene, I saw the Sheriff's helicopter assisting as well, so we got a lot of activity above. A lot of activity below. Folks in this area know something that's coming up. They can hear the noise, they can hear the sirens, and this is why this motorhome here failing to pull over to officers as this pursuit continues here in the Hollywood area, northbound on Highland, coming up on the Hollywood Freeway. Well, let me try to see. I'm getting jet wash here. Give me a little pedal turn to the right. Pedal turn to the right, please, Pollard. Let's get rid of some of this jet wash here. I'll try to see if I can do that here, guys. So far, I don't see it. Yeah, there you go. Let me get you a better shot here. Don't see anybody in the passenger seat, but considering it's a motorhome, most likely we can have people further in that motorhome. Listen, I'm going to have to do a headset change, so I'm going to throw this back to you. I'll be back with you guys in a second. I'm back with you guys. Okay, I'm back with you guys. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just a little headset change. Here we go. Hollywood Freeway. As we predicted, vehicle going northbound on the 101 freeway, passing that LA County Sheriff's bus. Again, we heard this was originating out of the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station earlier, some type of out of Santa Clarita Valley, some type of alleged kidnap suspect. So this would take us back into the area where this happened. We're not sure if that's exactly it. We also heard something about the Malibu area, but here's what we know. We're going through the Cahuenga Pass, 101 freeway northbound, approaching the 170 split. Bar and Boulevard is the next exit. News Chopper 4 Alpha is covering this pursuit. We were the first on the scene, picked it up in the Hollywood area. Now we're working our way towards North Hollywood on this 170 freeway. Well, fortunately right now for the driver, and when I say fortunately, we don't want to see a lot of traffic, considering sometimes that'll escalate a situation. As we saw in our earlier pursuit, it causes more erratic driving. Right now we see light traffic. We are still early enough not to see the afternoon traffic get underway. 170 looks good through the North Hollywood area, coming up onto the 5 Golden State Freeway, and that's where you may encounter some slow traffic. So if this driver continues into the New Hall Pass, maybe a little slow traffic there through the New Hall Pass. But right now, as far as the 170 is concerned, light speeds right now, light traffic conditions, and I can tell you this motorhome is going about 55 miles per hour, so still relatively safe speeds considering the situation. I'm sorry, Michael. Can you repeat that question? I was just grabbing some more information. Yes, they are there. So far, I see about. I mean, look at all those units there. We've got almost a dozen units, and that's just there on the ground. Most likely, we're going to call for some additional units there as well, considering we're on the freeway right now. So, because we're on the freeway, are they going to hand it over to the CHP, the California Highway Patrol? Even if the California Highway Patrol doesn't take over, there's no doubt that the California Highway Patrol will offer their assistance. We're just passing the NBC studios here, crossing over the 170 northbound of the Universal area, 101 northbound approaching the 170, so we're coming up into the Toluca Lake Studio City area, as you can see there. That's Lincolnshire right down below. You are correct. He will go on to the 170. We're actually going to try to get on the other side so we can see the driver, but he is going to continue northbound. That's going to put him onto the 170 portion. He's going to cross over the Ventura Freeway, the 101, as this Hollywood Freeway turns into the 170. So, considering right now we're still in the left lane, speeds are about 40 miles per hour, so we're not seeing fast speeds. That's good news there. They don't want to escalate the situation, but we are continuing there. Hollywood northbound, working our way into the North Hollywood area, and we may see some CHP officers here momentarily to offer assistance, but I have not heard any information yet as far as the California Highway Patrol taking over this pursuit. Yeah, in fact, I'm listening to scanner traffic right now. They're on the northbound 101 through the 134 interchange, and the supervisor earlier was asking how many LAPD units are on scene. They may be having some of these LAPD units to back off right now. They're trying not to escalate the situation, but you can see speeds are starting to pick up a little more. These are normal freeway speeds, 67 miles per hour right now, but LAPD units may be backing off, maybe putting it in some type of tracking mode. That may be their strategy. They still have 2 helicopters above following this pursuit, headed back up into the Santa Clarita Valley. Perhaps that's where we understood this may have begun earlier. Vehicle got away. Again, we still don't have all the information, so we're not going to speculate, but we do know from what we understand this is an alleged kidnapping suspect as we proceed north on the 170. That's the Magnolia exit that we're just passing. And Carolyn, what I can tell you right now is you were passing along that information. We have multi-agencies handling this pursuit. Not only do we have the Los Angeles Police Department, we also have the LA County Sheriff's Department. I'm hearing there may be some units down on the ground, and the California Highway Patrol. They are contemplating whether or not they're going to hand it off to the CHP. It sounds like they may have requested the assistance to give it to the California Highway Patrol, which makes sense. The fact that we're on the freeway itself right now may want to. I'm just listening to this right now. CHP is in position right now to take over. So momentarily here, you're going to see the California Highway Patrol come up on scene here, and they're going to take over this pursuit, continuing through the North Hollywood area on the North 170. We're on the 170 northbound. Let me get you an exact cross street here. In fact, I think that might be, oh, that's not a motor officer. We're on the 170 northbound approaching Victory. So you are correct, Victory Boulevard coming up here. And we do have a California Highway Patrol in position. In fact, I think I see CHP right over there doing a normal traffic stop situation. That's it, actually LAPD. So most likely CHP is going to take over when it comes up into their area. They're setting it up right now. LAPD, California Highway Patrol, as well as the LA County Sheriffs, 3 multi-agencies working together to get this vehicle safely pulled over. Yeah, they're not going to be able to pit this vehicle. I mean, you talked earlier about maybe deploying a spike strip. I know we were talking about that earlier with Carolyn mentioning that, but right now on the freeway, that's not possible. Now, it has happened before. We're not saying it won't happen, but it's always a possibility, but normally that's not the protocol. They're going to let this vehicle continue right now. They don't want to try to escalate the situation, but really the options are limited considering the circumstances. They want to look at the elements surrounding this pursuit. If this is an alleged kidnapped suspect who indeed does have a minor in that vehicle, what is the relationship? We don't know right now. Most likely officers are already aware and they've got all the information that they need, but they're also considering that they will not be able to do a pit maneuver on this vehicle, so they're just going to follow it. But this is a motorhome. I don't know how many gallons of fuel they're able to carry, but I know it is quite substantial. Exactly. So that's another situation. That is true, but this vehicle was also driving earlier today, so how much fuel is left? So these are all things that officers are contemplating. Watch commanders are considering what the options are. They want to bring this pursuit to a safe end. Still waiting for California Highway Patrol to take over, but we are on the 170 northbound, just passing Sherman Way, coming up on Roscoe Boulevard. Speeds are at about 65 miles per hour. And Carolyn, I'm starting to see some of that slow traffic. Once we merge onto the 5 in the Pacoima area, that's where we're going to start seeing some slow traffic, and we'll see how it changes the elements pertaining to this pursuit. Yes, definitely. Hopefully that will be the case. And again, once this motorhome starts hitting some traffic, what's the driver going to do? Considering what we saw earlier in the Hollywood area, the driver was not driving too erratically. He was actually complying with the signal lights, with the the laws there. So we did not see any dangerous driving. We really don't see it right now. It'll just be a story of whether or not this guy will just wing it out in traffic, slowly going northbound. What will happen? Will officers try to do something to bring this to an end, or are they just going to follow this motorhome north 170? Now we're going to make that transition onto the 5 Golden State Freeway. Yeah, in fact, I'm pulling up CHP right now. You can see, here we go, approaching Sheldon right now. That's the California Highway Patrol. 43 miles per hour. California Highway Patrol, the lead agency right now. So we have multi-agencies, as we've been talking about, LAPD, the LA County Sheriffs, and California Highway Patrol, all three now pursuing this vehicle. California Highway Patrol has taken the lead. You are correct. Coming into the Sun Valley, the Pacoima area. I'm just monitoring the CHP as well, listening to the officers down below. We are picking up some speeds right now, but really not too fast. I'm looking at right now, it's about 59 miles per hour. Sorry about that. 59 miles per hour right now, going on the 170 northbound. And here we go. Vehicles now passing all this traffic, but once he merges onto the main line of the freeway, you can see a lot of the slow traffic here. This carpool lane is going to allow him to bypass most of that traffic, but at some point we are going to see some slow traffic here, and we'll see how this driver handles this. Now, we are bypassing all that traffic. CHP is being updated by the LAPD helicopter. They have undercover units as well following this pursuit. That's the LAPD. They have, they're really well equipped for this one. They expected this one. They have crisis management team on scene right now following this. So they're taking all necessary precautions. They want to be able to bring this to a peaceful end. So not only do we have marked units, we have unmarked detective units who are tracking down this vehicle, found the vehicle, initiated the traffic stop with marked units from the Los Angeles Police Department, and that's when we found this pursuit that started there in the mid-Wilshire area, went up along Highland Boulevard onto the Hollywood Freeway. Now we're coming up through the Pacoima area. Northbound on the 5 Golden State Freeway, approaching the 118 carpool lane right now. Speeds are about 57 miles per hour, originated in the Santa Clarita area, and that's exactly where News Chopper 4 may be heading. KMBC 12 NOC. Could we switch to Oats, please? We're going to be heading up into the Santa Clarita Valley. Can you kill that air, please? KMBC 12 NOC on the 450. Do you copy, please? Could we switch to Oats? We're going to be going up into Santa Clarita here in a second. Caller, I need you to stand down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Michael, please repeat. I'm sorry. My apologies. We're on the 5 Golden State Freeway. Got a lot of traffic going on right here. We're trying to monitor this 5 Golden State Freeway, northbound side of the 5, just passing over the 118. This is what we know, an alleged kidnapping suspect. Santa Clarita happened in the Santa Clarita area earlier today. We don't know the circumstances, but we do know this originated out of Santa Clarita. LAPD units must have been monitoring this situation. They had detective units following, from what we understand. They also had the LAPD Los Angeles marked units trying to pull this vehicle over at one point. A pursuit initiated in the mid-Wilshire area, went along the surface streets in the Hollywood area on Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, got onto the 170 freeway, and now we're headed back into the Santa Clarita Valley. This motorhome is being pursued not only by the Los Angeles Police Department, but by the California Highway Patrol, as well as the Los Angeles County Sheriffs. We have multi-agencies right there. Motorhome's been traveling for a long time right now. We're not sure the fuel distance that's going to allow this vehicle to continue, but so far it looks that it's going north on the 5 and it's still going full speed ahead. No signs of this suspect slowing down. I got you. I got you. Where do you need me to switch? Yeah, he's not driving too erratic right now. We're going to have to do a microwave change, guys. So, Michael, I'm going to throw it back to you, but we are on the 5 Golden State Freeway coming up into the Sylmar area, approaching the 405. Thank you. Yeah, we have a couple of helicopters, multiple agencies. We've been talking about the CHP as well as LAPD and the the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department as well. California Highway Patrol is the primary unit right now. They are in charge. They are the lead agency. So let me just show you how many units. We have a couple of the units from the California Highway Patrol. Then you're going to see units from the Los Angeles Police Department. Here's units from the Los Angeles Police Department. And then we have those detective units. Earlier we were talking about some of the undercover units. We're showing you how many units are involved in this pursuit. They have multiple units as well as a couple of helicopters following this right now. We're on the 5 freeway northbound, just passing, I believe that there is Roxford, just passing Roxford there, north on the 5. And look, we have more CHP units coming in. Those are CHP units coming in from the Newhall division. So they're going to intercept and take over right now. This pursuit continuing on the 5, heading up into the Newhall Pass. I think it's probably because of both right now, and I think the nature of the circumstances that this is a kidnapping suspect. We say alleged kidnapping suspect, and we did hear units down below urging everybody to use extreme caution because there is a minor in this vehicle. Now that has not been compromised. That has not been confirmed. Rather, regardless, though, they want to be very careful, considering if that indeed is the case. They do not want to antagonize this person any more than he already is. So they do not want to endanger anybody in that motorhome. So yes, we do have a little more units than normally, considering we already have a crisis management counselor following in this pursuit. Obviously, they're prepared. They knew about this, so they're gaining all the resources necessary to de-escalate this situation, bring this to a safe end, and make sure that nobody gets hurt. We are in the Newhall Pass right now, just passing the 210 freeway here, north on the 5 freeway. Speeds right now are at about 61 miles per hour. Yeah, and that's what it seems like where we're going right now. We're just passing the 14 freeway, North 5 Golden State Freeway, 65 miles per hour. I'm still listening to the CHP right now, handing everything off to the Newhall, CHP Newhall Division. Right now, they are not sure where the suspect is going, at least right now, but a lot of information may already be out there that we're not familiar with. We also forget sometimes those dispatchers, they're working in the background, making all the necessary calls, helping out, trying to find out some more information about this and passing it along to officers. So they may have an idea perhaps where this person is going. North 5 Golden State Freeway, just passing the 14 freeway right now. North on the 5, speeds are about 64 miles per hour. Still have LAPD, California Highway Patrol, as well as the Los Angeles County Sheriff's following. Traffic right now does not look bad. Let me show you. In fact, I might as well just go ahead and show a little bit of traffic. Not only do we have decent conditions, unfortunately, we're starting to see some weather ahead of us. So it is raining up here. It's just going to add to another element of this pursuit now that we see a lot of some of this weather coming up here in the front of us. So North 5 here, just passing the 14 freeway. You can see that motorhome not complying with officers' instructions to pull over. Continuing north on the 5, about 60 miles per hour. This is an alleged kidnapping suspect. We understand there may be one minor in this vehicle. Because there's a child in this vehicle, according to scanner traffic, that has not been confirmed. However, all information concludes that it possibly is the case. They have multiple agencies on scene as well as the crisis counselor because they want to bring this to a peaceful end. Yeah, a lot of times they'll be people tend to go back to an area where they are familiar with, and if this originated out of the Santa Clarita Valley area, this indeed looks like we're headed back to the Santa Clarita Valley. Now, not sure if we're going to stay on the freeways, if we're going to get off on such surface streets right now, but we are continuing here on the Golden State Freeway. Michael, I'm going to throw it back to you. I know we have Gil Levis up here as well, so we're going to do a handoff here, but News Chopper 4 Alpha and News Chopper 4 Bravo following this pursuit, and we'll bring you all this information. Okay, KMBC News Chopper Alpha, do you guys need me to drop? Gil Levis, are you guys going to take over? Okay, because I hear a lot of chatter and it's pretty, I'm going to turn down this two-way, then I'll come back in a couple of minutes here. It's just a lot going on. Booth, I'm with you still. No, Gil. Gil, let me know. Gil, what's your 20? What's your 20, please? Copy that. Booth, they're about a minute out. I'm still with you if you need me. No, not yet. I'm losing the IFB. NOC, I'm losing the IFB. NOC, if you can help me with the IFB, I'm losing the IFB, please. Booth, I've lost the IFB. I'm waiting for it to change. Okay, I got IFB. I'm ready. Yes, ma'am. Bring it on. Gil Levis will be taking over shortly. Hey, we're still following this pursuit here, Golden State Freeway, North 5 in the Santa Clarita Valley. Some of that, we'll try to get a better shot here once that freeway comes out of the visual there. Just passing Calgrove there. Just passing Calgrove on the North 5 Golden State Freeway. CHP still trying to get this vehicle to pull over. A very dangerous situation considering this is an alleged kidnapping suspect. This thing originated out of Santa Clarita. That's why we're most likely heading back into an area that is familiar to the suspect. We're not seeing crazy erratic driving. We're seeing seeing speeds relatively slow right now, considering what we saw earlier in an earlier pursuit today. We're only going about 63 miles per hour, so that's average speed here on the Southern California freeway. We do have law enforcement agencies very close behind this vehicle. North on the 5, this motorhome is traveling right now into Santa Clarita, passing Cal Grove, should be coming up here on Valencia here shortly, just passing that big rig. And you can see traffic is light, so that's good news. We're not seeing any dangerous situations, no dangerous speeds, just the suspect not complying and pulling over to officers. No, and it's going to make it very dangerous as far as just coming up on Lyons right now. We're approaching Lyons. They're not going to be able to do a pit maneuver of a vehicle this size. So really, officers are just following right now. Officers are just following north on the 5 freeway, just passing Lyons. And really, that's all their tactic right now is they don't want to try to escalate the situation. They're letting this driver continue north on the 5 freeway. Hopefully, he will run out of gas. But right now, the tactic and the procedure is just monitor this from above. Officers are behind, closely behind, but they don't want to do anything to escalate the situation. They want this to come to a peaceful end, and they're just letting this driver continue north on the 5. Michael, I'm going to throw it back to you, and I know we're going to do a change right now. Okay, guys, I couldn't stop. I was in the middle of talking to the anchor. They know we're going to do the switch now. Am I clear to drop signal, please? Okay, KMBC News Chopper Alpha dropping.
And Mark from Gill, we're in at 000, 000 to Oat. Hi, Mia, I do hear you. I hear you, Mia. Michael, okay, ready to go. Yeah, Michael, we're here. We are doing the handoff with Megan right now, and I can tell you this is continuing northbound 5 freeway, and still no change in the driving pattern of this driver. I'm going to come out to a wide shot so you can see our view from News Chopper 4 Bravo. You can see the CHP, and they're in pursuit as well now. And still no change in the driving pattern of this driver. I'm going to come out to a wide shot so you can see our view from News Chopper 4 Bravo. You can see the CHP, and they're in pursuit as well. Now, on the way up here, I was listening to the police scanners trying to gather more information for you, and I can tell you that they were saying, and we have to confirm this, but they are saying that there are two children on board the vehicle. We're hearing a male, 3-year-old male, and a 11-month-old female. So we're going to work on getting that confirmation right now. But again, we're hearing that on the police scanners as we were coming up right now. So that really does change things. I know that the California Highway Patrol was talking about doing a spike strip, but they're hesitant to do that with the children on board. So we've heard that just in the last minute or two as this pursuit continues on northbound on the 5. That's right. Now we're hearing that the driver has something in his hands. They're not sure. They have some intel that the driver is holding something in his hands. But at this point, yeah, it's tough for the officers that are in pursuit to decide what to do with this. You know, it's unknown also how much fuel's on board. We're hearing that, again, like Megan was saying, this started this morning in the Santa Clarita area, this situation with the kidnapping suspect, but the pursuit starting in mid-Wilshire a short time ago. So again, we're hearing now that now we're hearing that the CHP is talking that the driver has a 357 Magnum. So again, a very, very dangerous situation for everybody involved in this as he continues coming up to the 126 freeway. Oh yeah, it's gotten worse as we approach the 126. It is raining a lot heavier than it was through the Newhall Pass. So we do have the weather. You can see the slick roads there. I'm going to come out to a wider shot here for you, and you can see that the water's actually fogging up our lens a little bit on the chopper here. But again, he's continuing, coming up to that interchange. It looks like he's going to be committed northbound 5 freeway. Oh my gosh. Can we catch up a little bit to it? I just want to look in the side window. And we're going to lose him behind that hill, so if we can slide over. Okay. That's perfect. It is, Michael. You can see the water kicking up from the back of the motorhome itself. I can also add, and I don't know if you heard this before, and let me know if you have, but we're also hearing they're calling the suspect a parolee. So added that to the mix of everything that's going on. We still have this guy going northbound on the 5 freeway. Light rain, they're calling it out here, 60 miles an hour, coming up to the Lake Castaic area and continuing northbound. Looks like there's no end in sight as far as we can see, as far as maybe doing a spike strip. The CHP kind of leery about doing that with those children on board. Carolyn, not for us so much right now. The winds aren't too bad for us. We're not getting bumped around a whole lot, but there is low clouds as we go up further towards the, into the Grapevine area. That's going to be an issue, whether we or how far we can track this or stay on it. We'll know within the next few miles as the weather kind of gets low out here. Yeah, now we can get a better look here. We moved up forward a little bit. You can see him moving his left hand around there and continuing to drive with those windshield wipers on as needed. But again, you know, they're trying to see what they can do and figure out something they can do to bring this to an end. But for now, he's just continuing his course here northbound on the 5. I'm going to come out to a wider shot for you, Carolyn and Michael, so you can see we are continuing on up the 5 here through Castaic and still the California Highway Patrol. They're discussing options of what they can do, but so far they're just keeping that distance. They've been pretty much at that same distance now for the last 5 minutes or so, and being very cautious with the suspect here. He's going behind a hill here for a second, and we're going to try to reposition here so we can get a better shot. But for now, I can tell you that airship overhead, the line of officers behind LAPD and the California Highway Patrol, here he comes out now. You can see him as I zoom back in. Still raining, still the weather could be an issue for us here as we get up here. So far so good though, as he continues up the Grapevine. Yeah, that's the scary thing, and I can tell you also, Michael, from experience with pursuits coming up the Grapevine, that the CHP has very good luck with spike strips in this area, but again, they're very cautious to do that. So we've seen multiple pursuits come up the Grapevine here, and they will deploy a spike strip, and that usually puts an end to any pursuit, but for now, they're being very cautious and not willing to do that right now. Carolyn, because he's going up a grade, it's pretty slow moving. It's mostly trucks, as you see there, as he's passing multiple trucks there. But really, he's got very, very light traffic as far as personal vehicles goes. There's not much other than these trucks, so they do have he has quite a bit of leeway ahead of him. They're also, I'm hearing now on the scanners that they're talking about trying to find out if this guy is in communication with any family members. So they're working all angles on this to find out ways to communicate with the suspect and try to bring this to an end. Yeah, that's true. Fortunately, because of the grade here, he's going uphill. He's slowed down to about 50 miles an hour. But now I'm hearing that he has spoken with his wife earlier, and they're talking about possibly pulling over at the next truck stop. So we'll see if that happens. Also, we're hearing that the suspect may have been in communication with his own mother. So we're hearing this now as it's happening, and we'll see what develops here as this continues. Yeah, very interesting developments there for sure, and the list keeps adding on and on here as we continue to listen to this pursuit. I mean, it just continues to grow as to what has transpired between now and back then, earlier this morning. So, wow, it's just continuing now up the 5 freeway, and we'll see if there's any way this guy's going to pull over. If that's true, what we're hearing, that he would pull over at a truck stop and maybe surrender. That is correct. That's what we're hearing from the CHP as they're talking about this. Coming up to Templin Highway right now, these speeds are picking up a little bit, 60 to 65 miles an hour, and we've dropped back a little bit due to weather. We're being a little cautious out here. We have other traffic in the area, so we were backing off just a bit, but you can see how much rain is on the roadways as it kicks up from that motorhome. That's a good question. I don't know if they mean like a truck stop where you would get fuel, or if they mean like an area where, like a weigh station or something like that, where they'll pull over. But you know, right now we're hearing that the suspect may not have a cell phone on him right now. So they're actually, now I'm hearing that the suspect is texting. So maybe that information about the cell phone is not true. But now we're hearing that he might be texting and might be pulling over soon. We can't go up? It looks clear. Okay. Okay, Mark, copy that.
Oh, no! We have a suspect running. Oh, this is going to be close.
To watch more heart-stopping car chases happening across Southern California, subscribe here. Thanks for watching. The Chase is on.